Several developing stories as we come on the air. Inside the horrific terror attack, the newest explosion just today. Americans among the dead in a series of coordinated explosions, including this boy. Several churches and hotels, and the images from inside tonight. The video this evening on Sri Lanka TV. Authorities studying this image, a man wearing a backpack, disappearing into the church. Also, one of the suicide bombers standing in line for brunch at a hotel. Our team on the scene tonight. Here at home, the major new development in the case of two young girls discovered dead, two 8th graders. Did one of them capture video of their killer before she died? The new video just released, and the warning from police today that the man could be right there in the community, even in that room. The deadly plane crash tonight, 6 people killed. The new images coming in now. The new headline tonight from President Trump, what he's now saying about impeachment. Speaker Nancy Pelosi and what she told members of Congress just moments ago, and the newest subpoena, who they want to testify before the American people. The Easter service scare in this country, a Navy vet entering a church with a baby and a weapon in her arms, threatening to blow up the church. The missing 5-year-old boy, tonight the mother has stopped cooperating, what dog sniffers have now uncovered. The new and alarming numbers tonight on measles just out, the new states where they're now concerned. And the Jeopardy contestant on a roll, winning yet again. And now even Ken Jennings is weighing in.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here to start a new week. And we begin tonight with those new images and new reporting here inside that horrific terror attack. Multiple churches and hotels on Easter Sunday. The death toll is simply staggering tonight. Nearly 300 dead, and there are several Americans among the dead, including a 5th grader. Just today, another explosion, a van bursting into flames near one of those devastated churches. Sri Lankan TV showing this surveillance video tonight, a man with a heavy backpack there, walking along a crowd of churchgoers seen on a church camera, suddenly disappearing into that crowd. Among the Americans, I mentioned that 11-year-old boy who went to school in Washington, D.C. Another bomber waiting in line for brunch at a hotel. And tonight we learned there were at least 3 warnings that there were possible plans for a terror attack underway. So why wasn't there more security? ABC's James Longman is in Sri Lanka, leading us off tonight.
Tonight, new panic on the streets of Sri Lanka's capital city. Police eyeing this white van when all of a sudden, soldiers scatter. The neighborhood descends into chaos yoards from where we are.
A huge explosion just went off just around that corner there. As soon as it did, buildings around here, windows shattered, huge scream went up from the crowd over there. You can see them running towards our position here where we are now. Police on high alert. We don't know what it was, whether or not it was a police destination, but that was absolutely terrifying.
Terrified and bewildered, as tonight we learn that intelligence services ignored repeated warnings of imminent terrorist attacks they first received weeks ago. Then, on Easter morning, one after another, the suicide bombs went off. This dashcam video captures the first explosion at St. Anthony's Catholic Church. It was 8:45 a.m., the clock now frozen in time. Around that same time, a man with a backpack seen on security cameras approaching St. Sebastian's Church in nearby Negombo. Investigators poring over these images broadcast on Sri Lankan TV, the man weaving through the crowd. Another camera inside the church showing him pass behind the worshippers. He's reportedly one of the bombers. And moments later, the weapon detonates. In the aftermath, the roof completely blown off, where the faithful once knelt, only glass and debris, a celebration of new life now ravaged by death. But the attack's far from over. In the next 15 minutes, suicide terrorists strike 3 hotels popular with Western tourists. One killer even waiting in line at an Easter brunch buffet before detonating his explosive. On the other side of the country, another church becomes the target. Later in the day, another hotel. 500 injured, victims rushed to hospitals. Outside St. Anthony's, bodies draped in white cloth. Nearly 300 killed in these attacks, including at least 4 Americans. Dieter Kowalski of Colorado, who was here on a business trip, and 11-year-old Kieran Shafritz-Dezoiser, who was to start 7th grade at Sidwell Friends in Washington, D.C. his father remembering his son.
A brilliant mind who was going to be a neuroscientist, and he won't make it to his 12th birthday.
24 people are under arrest. Soldiers scaled the walls of this apartment building where they believe the attacks were planned. Moments later, another explosion. 3 officers killed.
Another very tense day there. James Longman joins us live tonight from Sri Lanka. And James, this evening, authorities are now pointing to a local Islamist extremist group for the attacks. But as you reported there, authorities were warned 10 days before the attacks, and people all over the world are asking, why wasn't there more security?
Yeah, that's right. People here are astounded at that, David. And authorities say this group must have had help from abroad. Such was the level of sophistication and coordination of these attacks. It's possible they were inspired by ISIS, but the big question, was ISIS involved in carrying them out? David?
James Longman on the scene again tonight for us. James, thank you. And back here at home now into a major new development in that murder mystery we have been reporting on here. 2 8th-grade girls killed while hiking 2 years ago. Did one of them record the killer before she died? Police just today releasing new video from one of the girls' phones, and a new sketch tonight, and audio of a suspect. And the chilling moment today when the police superintendent said he believed the man is a local, and he told everyone standing there that he could even be in that room. ABC's Alex Perez from Indiana tonight.
Tonight, Indiana investigators releasing this new video that they believe shows the man who killed 13-year-old Abby Williams and her friend, 14-year-old Libby German.
Watch the mannerisms as he walks. Do you recognize the mannerisms as being someone that you might know?
That video captured by Libby shortly before the murders while the girls were hiking and Snapchatting by this bridge in Delphi, Indiana. Police today also unveiling a new, younger-looking sketch of the suspect between 18 and 40. Investigators believe he has ties to the area. An emotional state police superintendent today addressing the killer
directly to the killer who may be in this room. We believe you are hiding in plain sight. We know that this is about power to you, and you want to know what we know. And one day, you will.
Investigators also releasing more of that chilling recording from Libby's phone, believed to be the killer's voice. Tonight, this community on edge.
It's frustrating. It's scary because this person is still walking free.
This has been a 2-year ordeal for that community. Alex joins us live tonight from Indiana. And Alex, I know police are also looking for information about a car tonight.
That's right, David. Authorities did not give a description, but they say they're looking for a car that was parked near this trail when the girls were killed. Investigators firmly believe the suspect lived or still lives in this town. David?
Alex Perez on the case again tonight. Thank you, Alex. There are pictures coming in tonight from Texas. A deadly plane crash. A twin-engine plane about to land and then crashing. 6 people on board are dead. ABC's Marcus Moore from Texas now.
Tonight, investigators at the scene of this disaster. Aerial footage shows a twisted and crumpled twin-engine plane crashing near Kerrville, Texas, just outside San Antonio.
There were 6 people on board, including the pilot.
All 6 killed in the mysterious crash. Their identities unknown tonight. And now the painstaking search for answers. According to authorities, the Baron 58 had taken off from a small airport in Houston and crashed just 6 miles from the Kerrville airport while on approach to landing.
It's a pretty open area. There's no trees, but it is very rocky, very hilly.
The pilot's communication never suggesting a problem. These are the last words heard on the recording.
2422 and up to 6,000, 501 Charlie Echo.
And tonight there are no reports of a distress call.
Officials have secured that crash site as their investigation begins into what caused this deadly crash. David.
Marcus Moore tonight. Marcus, thank you. Now to the Easter Sunday scare here in this country. A Navy veteran entering a church with a baby and a weapon in her arms. She threatened to blow up the church. Tonight here, the dramatic takedown that followed. And here's ABC's Will Carr now.
Authorities say this rambling video talking about religion appears to have been posted on social media by a mother.
I've been experiencing the rapture since January 12th.
A short time later, she allegedly walked into a packed Easter Sunday church service with her baby in one hand and a gun in the other, while threatening to blow up the house of worship.
She starts talking all this craziness about the rapture not being real and everyone's going to hell.
The pastor quickly told 70 people inside the church to get out.
She started pointing the gun at the baby. One of the older gentlemen grabbed it from her, and then me and a couple of other men tackled her, and we got the baby away from her.
Police took 31-year-old Anna Conkey, a Navy veteran, into custody. You can see an officer cradling her little boy. He was unharmed. Her gun was unloaded. Authorities did not find any explosives. Tonight, that mother faces a number of charges. Authorities say they're looking into her mental health after taking both of her kids into protective custody. David.
Will Carr tonight. Thank you, Will. Next to the new severe weather threat brewing tonight, a line of storms from the southwest all the way to the Great Lakes and heading east. A major hailstorm. It looked more like a layer of snow there along I-70 in Colorado. And the dramatic sky from strong thunderstorms. This is in western Kansas tonight. Unbelievable there. Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z is tracking it all for us again tonight. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, David. Well, we have a wet night here. We've got a super soaker on the way for parts of the plains. Let me take you to that stationary front that could still produce hail and damaging wind from Roswell to Lubbock. But tomorrow morning, Oklahoma City along I-35, you'll want to watch out for the flooding potential. Then Tuesday and Wednesday, severe storm forecast from Dallas back to Midland tomorrow. Wednesday at San Antonio and Austin. Finally, we're talking 2 to even 5 inches of rain. David.
Ginger Z with us tonight. We'll be watching tomorrow on GMA. Now to President Trump tonight, what he's now saying about impeachment. And Speaker Nancy Pelosi, what she told members of Congress just a short time ago, and tonight the newest subpoena now revealed, who they now want to testify before the American people. Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
President Trump today flatly rejected a central theme of the Mueller report, that time and time again, his own top advisors refused to do what he asked.
Are you worried that your staff is ignoring your orders and the Mueller report portrays?
Nobody disobeys my orders. But the Mueller report documents multiple cases, chief among them White House counsel Don McGahn, who repeatedly rebuffed the president's directives to have Robert Mueller fired. And tonight, McGahn has been subpoenaed to appear before the House Judiciary Committee. But he's just one of several aides who told Mueller under oath that they didn't follow the president's orders, leading the special counsel to write, the president's efforts to influence the investigation were mostly unsuccessful, but that is largely because the persons who surrounded the president declined to carry out orders or accede to his requests. Democrats tonight are weighing a major decision to start the impeachment process or not. In a letter to members of the House, Speaker Nancy Pelosi suggests impeachment may not be necessary, writing, "We should proceed down a path of finding the truth. It is also important to know that the facts regarding holding the president accountable can be gained outside of impeachment hearings." Regardless, the president says he's not concerned in the least.
Are you worried about impeachment, Mr. President?
Not even a little bit, he said there. John Karl live at the White House tonight. And John, tonight House Democrats have issued that subpoena, as you reported, for former White House counsel Don McGahn. And moments ago, Nancy Pelosi holding a call with Democratic lawmakers to discuss next steps amid, as we know, differing opinions among Democrats on impeachment proceedings. What are your sources telling you tonight?
David, I'm told it was an hour-long and spirited conference call. Several Democrats telling Speaker of the House Pelosi that they think it is time to move forward with impeachment. Pelosi and her leadership team, for their part, said that they will aggressively investigate the president and his administration, but they are not ready to move forward with impeachment proceedings, at least not yet. David?
All right, John Karl starting off the week for us. John, thank you. President Trump tonight is fighting back on another matter, suing to block a congressional subpoena to produce his business records. Elijah Cummings, the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, subpoenaed the accounting firm Mazars USA for financial statements they prepared for the Trump Organization. Lawyer Michael Cohen testified that Mazars doctored the statements to help Trump apply for loans or lower insurance premiums. The president claims the subpoena is harassment. He is also expected to miss a congressional deadline to produce his tax returns. That deadline is tomorrow. The Supreme Court tonight has accepted 3 high-profile cases to determine whether the prohibition against discrimination on the basis of sex applies to sexual orientation and gender identity as well. 2 cases involve gay workers who were fired. The third involves a transgender worker who was also fired. Lower courts have been divided on this. The High Court will hear these cases during their fall term. And out of the desperate search tonight for a missing 5-year-old boy, police say search dogs have only picked up his scent inside his own home. And tonight, his mother has now stopped cooperating with police. Here's ABC's Paula Ferris.
Tonight, investigators searching for 5-year-old AJ Friend are zeroing in on the boy's suburban Chicago home, calling it a crime scene.
I just want my kids. That's all that's my life. They're my kids.
The boy's parents say they last saw AJ when they put him to bed Wednesday night. His mother maintains her innocence, but has hired an attorney and is refusing to cooperate with police.
I realized that the police considered her to be a suspect. Based on that, I advised Min Cunningham to remain silent at that point.
After using sonar to search a nearby lake and K9 units, police say they have so far only picked up AJ's scent inside the residence. Investigators do not believe the boy was abducted or wandered away. AJ's father met with police over the weekend.
AJ, please come home. We love you very much.
And David, Illinois Child Services has investigated the family before. AJ was removed from the home for 1.5 years when he was a baby. And tomorrow, his mother will be in court trying to regain custody of AJ's younger brother, who was taken shortly after his disappearance. David?
All right, Paula Ferris tonight. Paula, thank you. There is still next tonight new developments and new video after that tiger attack at the Topeka Zoo. The veteran zookeeper surviving, but now authorities want to know why she was in that same space as the deadly animal in the first place. Here's ABC's Zachary Quiche in Kansas.
Tonight, Sanjeev, the Sumatran tiger, is back in his habitat after nearly killing a zookeeper.
His staff getting attacked by a tiger.
You can see the zookeeper here in this webcam video just before the incident. The attack was spotted by visitors who alerted staff.
Survived staff is still in the enclosure. The tiger is still next to them, still attacking.
Using food, they lured the 275-pound tiger away from his caretaker.
Our staff response saved a keeper's life, saved the tiger's life.
The victim, a veteran employee with 17 years at the zoo, suffered lacerations and puncture wounds to her upper body.
Is there any reason that a person should be in the same space as one of these animals?
There's no reason for a staff person in the animal to share the same space in our tiger program.
David, the zookeeper is now in stable condition. Tonight, her family is asking for privacy. David?
Zachary and Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes in court a short time ago, the former CEO arriving at federal court in San Jose for a status hearing. She faces conspiracy and wire fraud charges tied to an alleged multi-million-dollar scheme to defraud investors. She boasted her lab technology could detect hundreds of diseases from a drop of blood. An alarming spike in measles cases across this country tonight. The CDC now reporting 71 new cases, bringing the total number to 626 this year, with Iowa and Tennessee now among 22 states dealing with measles outbreaks. And marking Earth Day, an estimated 1 billion people in 192 countries participating in Earth Day. From clean water protests in Venezuela to picking up trash on Florida's beaches. The theme this year, helping to protect endangered animals and plants from extinction. Earth Day was first celebrated in 1970. When we come back, Jeopardy Whiz, getting the attention of another.
And our returning champion.
James Holzhauer has done it again, winning for a 12th time, 34 years old, a professional sports bettor from Las Vegas.
What is Gabriel Garcia Marquez? What is Kyoto? What is thorium?
James.
Who is Napoleon?
Yes.
He now has the 5 highest one-day totals in the show's history.
A new one-day record.
Now just one spot behind the highest total winner in a regular season, Jeopardy legend Ken Jennings.
Ken. Who is Aristophanes?
Ken.
What's the Trojan horse?
Ken.
Who is Jean Lafitte?
Ken.
What's the dodo?
Ken.
What is Stella?
Pretty good.
Tonight, Ken Jennings telling Wired magazine of this new contestant. I'm just gobsmacked by James. It's absolutely insane what he's doing. I would never have had the stomach for those kinds of bets. And ESPN asking James about a matchup with Ken Jennings.
I'm good on the buzzer, but Ken is better, and in a straight trivia test, I might take Ken.
But tonight, it's James against 2 others, going for game 13, and getting closer to Ken Jennings' record. We'll see tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.